Time for our hot topic of the day, sponsored by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. During the Athletics anonymous survey of NFL offseason signings, 6 of the agents expressed some level of skepticism about Patrick Mahomes' historic deal. One agent called it horrendous for all players moving forward. They also said it was the, quote, worst deal done in the NFL in the last 20 years. Shannon, do they have a point?
No, I disagree, but I'm not surprised the agents say this, Skip. This is what you do. You sought up other agents so you can say, see, you see that deal he did? I would have got Patrick Mahomes $1 billion, and I'd have got him $400 million fully guaranteed. Skip, that's how it goes. It's just like college football. You know, Ohio State says things about Alabama and Michigan and all these other programs. So I'm not surprised that they said this. The question is, Skip, for me, is that when you look at this deal, now Patrick Mahomes says, I wanted some security, but also give the team flexibility. Because theoretically, the Kansas City did not have to do anything to 2022. He still had 2 years left, plus three franchise tags if need be. So, Skip, think about that. So they could have just waited this thing out. So he's under contract this year, next year, which will be 2022, and so 3 years after that. So they really didn't have to do anything to 2025. Then what? What can Patrick Mahomes do? Patrick Mahomes, he gave up his free agency. Patrick Mahomes was never going to see free agency. They was always going to have his rights until they deemed it was necessary to say, you know what, we can't. Skip, when you look at it, his 2023 salary becomes guaranteed in 2021. He has some things in there. He has $141 million in injury guarantees. Skip, look, Patrick Mahomes, if Patrick Mahomes was Dak Prescott and signed a deal like this, I would have been outraged too, Skip. But not with 2 years left on his deal. I think the deal is fine, and you shouldn't worry about it. How did it mess it up for anybody else, Skip? You the agent. So you said he did a bad deal. You the agent for somebody else. Get a better deal. Why you basing your deal on Patrick Mahomes? Skip, if I'm an attorney, I can't go, well, he got, no. You said this is what you could do. Don't worry about what Patrick Mahomes did. You see what everybody else tried to do, Skip? It's easy. Well, if everybody it's like the first rounder. Okay, Skip, normally you get 10%, especially the quarterbacks, you get 10% more than the previous year. So it's structured. Nah, that's not how it works in free agency. You go get your money. You said you could get this. If I'd had it, okay, Deshaun Watson or whomever agents are making these, you're going to get an opportunity if you have a player. Go get the money. Don't worry about what Pat Mahomes got. Don't be talking about that man's money. If Patrick Mahomes is happy, guess who else happy? Me.
Okay, I hear everything you just said. You do love my homeboy, so you're probably going to defend this to a degree. You said you're fine with the deal.
Yeah.
I don't think you're great with the deal, but you're fine with it.
Right.
I must admit, my eyes got opened by these quotes. I got a little blinded by $500 million.
Right.
It could max out at $503,000. It's like, I can't even wrap my mind around all those zeros. Right. We've never heard anything about like this. And
$503 million.
No, I meant million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is, with all those zeros out there, it equals what they sold as the biggest contract in the history of, they said, North American sports.
Yeah.
Okay. So, wow, way to go. So our first reaction the first day was kaboom.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But the devil, as always, is in the details.
Right.
So it takes agents to deconstruct the contract and start to pick it apart. And I agree with you. They'll pick each other apart because that's what their livelihood is, picking each other apart. But this one quote, and again, these are anonymous, but I'm okay. I believe somebody thinks this. Some agent said it was a horrendous deal for all players moving forward. And I think you can appreciate that as an ex-player. It didn't do the rest of them much good because this agent goes on to say the kid essentially gave up free agency for his entire career. Maybe not total, but the bulk of his prime is going to be gone where you can't max out your money. And this agent goes on to say there are good but not star players who will make more over the first 3 years of their deals than Patrick effing Mahomes will make over the first 3 years of his deal. And then only 13% of this deal is guaranteed. What do you always throw back at me?
Yeah.
I want to know what the guarantees are.
Absolutely.
13%. I don't even know if that's accurate or not because I haven't read that,
Right.
but that's what he says. 13% is guaranteed. Absolute joke, he says. Worst deal done in the NFL in the last 20 years.
Whew, Skip, truth be told, every deal done in the NFL is some bull jive. You know why? Because it's the only professional sport that salary isn't guaranteed. So why you bumping your gum?
Except for Kirk Cousins, got $84 million guaranteed.
If Kirk Cousins' agent's talking, I'm listening.
Okay.
Everybody else, unless you baseball, basketball, or hockey, what you talking about? Unless you first Cousins' agent, because he's the only one that said, you know what? Give me 3 years fully guaranteed. I don't care if the sun shines or it rains. He gonna get that money.
And I don't even like Kirk Cousins. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
So, but what everybody else talking about, Skip? They signing 6-year deal, 5-year deals. Is that money fully guaranteed? No. So otherwise, don't even talk.
Okay. Another agent adds, I think it's just hilarious that the Chiefs only had to pay $10 million in signing bonus to a guy who just signed a $500 million contract. Okay, so is it kind of backloaded? Yeah, you could say that. Okay, but one other agent did have the insight to step back and say, I look at this contract similar to what Tom Brady did for years in New England. Okay, I'm going to give you this one. If that was the goal of Patrick Mahomes, to say, you know what, this is enough money for me. It's enough for generations of my family.
Right.
I don't have to go for the throat here. I'll be taken care of, although it scares me a little bit about the guarantees because I'm going to knock on wood. I don't even like to bring it up.
Right.
But if you do get hurt, then are you going to get enough of that for your take care of generations of your family? What do they call it? Generational
wealth.
Okay. But he's basically saying enough is enough. I want to give my team the ability to support me.
If he takes all he's going to take, they're not re-signing Chris Jones, who's a top defensive tackle.
Okay. And weapons. He wants 10, 12 years worth of maximum weapons.
Right.
Well, I can't blame him for that.
Right.
Brady always took undervalue. Tim Duncan with the Spurs always took under market value.
Right.
And in the end, he was taking like joke money.
Right.
Just to make sure they had a full bench.
Right. They can keep Tony Parker. They can keep Ginobili.
In the year they shot you guys right out of the gym, the Heat, in 2014.
With Patty Mills and
but the guys are coming off the bench. Boris Diaw coming off the bench, just raining threes.
Yeah.
Because they all made pretty good money because the star of the team, or at least the leader of the team at that point, Tim Duncan, was making $5 million, which was an NBA minimum salary. Okay, so I'll give you that on Patrick Mahomes. But another agent said, you know, would an agent do this deal just so for the next 10 to 12 years he didn't have to worry about getting terminated? Like he's going to get his...
He's going to get his money regardless,
Yeah, okay, all right. You did that. You're good. Right?
Well, Skip, the way I look at it, if Pat Mahomes, all Pat Mahomes basically has to do is make it 2 years. If he can make it to 20, because once at the league year 2021, his 2023 salary is guaranteed. He makes it 2022, his 2024.
Okay. So that's not a new deal. That has been done before.
Right.
But I get you. But you still have to kind of earn your guarantee. You earn there are mechanisms, trigger mechanisms where you make it through 2 years unscathed, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Then boom, you get you're guaranteed for 2 more years. But you're not. This wasn't a 12-year guaranteed Kirk Cousins style contract.
They don't give those in the NFL.
Okay. Well, they could. I mean, there's no law against it, but they just don't.
Why? Because the players are not willing to forego checks.
Yep.
The MLB, Skip, they shut down the World Series. The NBA says, nah, we ain't doing a thing until we get what we want. But, Skip, because the players have gone so long without guaranteed money, they can't miss those checks. So this is why they signed the deal a year early. They have to sign. They wait. And boom, here we go. And then the first thing, and like I said, the next time I hear a guy talk about, well, this is slave and we shouldn't have this, well, you had an opportunity.
You did. Bingo.
Look at you, Skip. Look at unions. Look at the police union. Look at that union. Look at MLB. Look at the NBA. Look at everybody except the NFLPA. And now the NFL, Skip, they'll release a statement, and Michelle Roberts, Adam Silver, that says, okay, these are kind of going to be our guidelines. Well, you got the NFL, they'll release their statement, and then a day or two later, here come the NFLPA releasing their statement. Ain't nobody lockstep and barrel.
No.
Because you know why? The NFL said, we know we can run over y'all, and y'all ain't going to do nothing about it.
That is true. Well, in the end, I promise you, the Kansas City Chiefs management hierarchy owner.
Yes.
They're happy with
they're
this deal. They're really happy. They made a really good deal here.
But Skip, this is not going 2025. They're going to redo Pat.
Yeah,
they're going to redo it.
I mean, they're not under any obligation to do that.
No.
Okay, if that'd be the right thing to do.
Right.
We're going to move on from Patrick Mahomes' contract to Cam Newton's contract. They look a little different. Was the fact that Newton signed for, so little money about more than just his injury history? And like we mentioned, Michael Vick will join us after the break. Stay with us.